good, everyone? This is Quad B, aka Leroy, aka Bamboozled Black Baby Boomer, with episode 2 of the Planet GovCon series, where I talk about all things public sector procurement. And today, we're going to talk about capability statements. And what are capability statements? Well, they are a snapshot of your company's strengths and experience during doing the work that an agency or a company wants or needs. And it's best to customize it for each agency and or company, but you can also keep kind of a generic version of your capability statement. So why don't we get started in showing what a capability statement looks like? And in the upper left hand corner of the screen, we have a template for a capability statement that can kind of guide you as to how to put one together. So in this top row here, you have room for your company logo. Usually I like to put it right here because there seems to be a little bit of wasted space over here. And then you have your company name, your company address, your company website, and your contact information. And then we go down a little further and we have core competencies. As it says here, this is your sales pitch, a short introduction of your company's core competencies that are tailored to the customer's or agency specific needs, followed by strong keyword bullet points. Okay? Then we have down here, we have past performance. In other words, you want to list past customers for whom you have done similar work. And it says here that if past projects do not relate to the target agency's needs, do not list them. You want to prioritize by related agency, including federal, state, local, and then commercial. And then you want to include specific contact information for references. For those folks, you would put in your name, your title, the title, email, and the phone. And if your company does not have relevant experience, you might want to highlight a team member's experience that indicates your ability to perform. And what they mean by team member is another company you bring on as a teaming partner to fill in any capabilities gaps that your company might have. Okay? And then over here, this is the most important point. Differentiators, or as we call them in proposal land, win themes or discriminators. Now, discriminators are what make you stand out, what makes your company stand out. And that's something you really have to think about, especially if you're in a commoditized area, say like janitorial services or something like that. You want to identify what makes you different from your competitors and how this benefits the agency. For example, if you are a janitorial service, you can talk about how we make sure that we clean off your desk really well, because the average desk has all kinds of germs and pathogens and microbes, way more than the average bathroom toilet. And you can talk about, if you're a janitorial service, how you clean offices so well, including desks and computers, that you have had a client who has had fewer sick days and greater productivity. That's just one example. So you want to identify what makes you different from your competitors, and again, how this benefits the agency. What is unique about your business, and why is that important to the customer? That's where it comes, where listening to your customer and doing all that doing some pre-marketing will really help you. You know, networking and all that good stuff. You want to really listen to what your customer or potential customer is saying. In other words, do your research. Okay, look at your customer's website, look at Even their financial statements, if they're a publicly traded company, they should be available via the Securities and Exchange Commission, all that good stuff. So let's go down to company data, which is a very brief company description detailing pertinent data, such as you're American owned, okay, the date established, it could be, 2013, and a business entity, like it says here. It's a Florida LLC or corporation, and LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. And then you want to have a website, of course, and customers will visit your website for additional information. And it says here, make sure your website is always up to date and demonstrates a government or business focus. And then over here, finally, we have pertinent codes. Special certifications such as 8A, HubZone. You've heard me talk about HubZones a lot. Woman-owned small business, veteran-owned small business, and service disabled, veteran-owned small business, etc. And I talked about these types of businesses in episode 1 of Planet GovCon, if you want to go back and take a look. Then we have then you can list what is your Dun and Bradstreet number. And if you want to do work on the federal level, that's the very first thing you have to have. You have to have a Dun and Bradstreet number in order to begin to register with the federal government to do work. Then you can list, if you like, what's known as your NAICS code, or North American Industry Classification System. What that is a standard used by federal statistical agencies such as the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Economic Statistics, Bureau of Labor Statistics, etc. Those are known as statistical agencies. So the NAICS code is used by federal statistical agencies in classifying business establishments for the purposes of collecting, analyzing, and publishing statistical data related to the U.S. economy. Okay? Then down here we have what's called the CAGE code. That is the Commercial and Government Entity Code. You're assigned one of those by the federal government. Okay? And the CAGE code is a unique identifier assigned to suppliers, to various government or defense agencies, as well as to government agencies themselves and various organizations. CAGE codes provide a standardized method of identifying a given facility at a specific location. Okay? And then you have, if you do, a GSA schedule contract number. Yeah, GSA schedules are sort of like these pre-approved lists of pre-approved vendors who can go for certain contracts for the GSA, which is known as the General Services Administration. General Services does a lot of things, include buy land or sell land on behalf of the government, or property, real property, if you will. So if you have a scheduled contract number, you should list that. Like, for example, if you're an IT firm, you're going to be listed, if you're going to get anywhere at the federal level, you definitely want to be listed as on the federal IT 70 contract. And there are tons of companies on those contracts, but they're out there and they're listed. And you have other contract vehicles. Some of those are known as GWACs, government-wide acquisition contracts, or IDIQs, which are indefinite quantity, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts. And those are a whole nother video. Those types of contracts, and if you can get on an IDIQ, you're sitting pretty, because there isn't going to be that much competition, depending on how many businesses a certain agency that runs an IDIQ puts on that IDIQ, number of businesses rather. The fewer businesses, and if you're on it, you've got a leg up because there's, like I said, less competition for the contracts or task orders that come out under these. But that's a whole nother story. Then you have your state and local contract numbers and payment requirements if applicable. And let's scroll down here for guidelines. Again, we defined the capability statement earlier. Should be designed as a single sheet, one side preferable or two sides if necessary. Use short sentences followed by strong keyword bullets, no long paragraphs, and create a separate document for each agency, prime contractor, and or teaming partner. Okay? And you want to save this document as whatever your company's name, capability statement, and always distribute it, especially via email, as a PDF document, not as a Word, PowerPoint, or other format, because it is more difficult to change a PDF. And you can actually, if you have the right software, you can lock the PDF so it is not editable by anybody. So that's pretty much it when it comes to capability statement. I hope this helped you a whole bunch. I was just working on one for an aforementioned, janitorial services company up in New Jersey. I hope they like it. I sent them a draft earlier this week, so hopefully they do like it. And if you like this video, please share this video. Please like the video, and please subscribe to the Quad B channel. And please also click on the bell so that when Quad B, aka Leroy, aka Bamboozled Black Baby Boomer, goes live on another topic or uploads another podcast on public sector procurement, you will be notified. So until next time, as I always say, peace, deuces, and God bless, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.